I perform around the world. And when I travel, I book with CaribJet.
Call CaribJet now. 100% Grenadian, operating 30 years plus.
Telephone number 439-4444 in Grenada or click caribjet.com. CaribJet, True Blue St. George's, the number one for travel.
Flavored tips for people living with hypertension this holiday season. Enjoy frozen ham in moderation instead of salt ham. Buy local or frozen vegetables instead of canned ones. Limit tin or canned foods like corned beef. But if you decide to have a little, throw hot water over it before eating to remove some of the salt or fat. You don't have to be perfect at every meal. Just be cautious of your choices. A message from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council.
Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always act when left, you come first. Save energy, save a dime, reduce your wattage and reduce your time. When you use appliances, make sure you buy energy efficient every time. Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always act when left, you come first. Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always act when left, you come first.
Tired of car troubles, high upkeep charges, and unprofessional work? Well, I know a place that can meet all your vehicle needs. 1D's Tire Shop, located on the Maurice Bishop Highway, provides tire change, car wash, vehicle balancing, brake and oil change, inspection services, and tire pressure gauge instant reading. They also stock brand new and English used tires, Ovation brand, ranging from as low as $150, as well as great deals to suit your budget. They deliver the total car care and quality service to customers. Contact them on 458-1614 or 406-3355. They're open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily, including weekends. Stop in with your car troubles and leave with your car superbly maintained. 1D's Tire Shop. Excellent service while beating any prices.
Good evening and welcome to the MTV News for Thursday, the 13th of January. And coming up in our top stories, one school in St. George's has had to suspend classes with teachers calling in sick. CDC to adopt new mask guidance to guard against the severe spread of the Omicron variant. And Grenada may soon be following in its neighboring islands' footsteps to decriminalize marijuana. And in sport, the West Indies under-19 lose warm-up matches. We'll have details to those and other stories coming up for you right after the break. Stay with us.
How did you get your electricity bill to be so low?
For one, we size our transformers just for what we need, and we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LED. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in.
How do you know if it is working?
We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
Renelec, energizing our Grenada.
The first segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with GUT Cooperative Credit Union. It's where you belong.
You have been waiting on it all year. Now, it's your chance to make this Christmas better than ever. Get the extra cash you need with a Make This Christmas Better loan from the GUT Credit Union. Get up to $50,000 to celebrate your Christmas and make your holiday dreams come true. Home improvements, new furniture, a vehicle, debt consolidation, or even a vacation. We can help you get there. Yes, you can. Make this Christmas better with the GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
And with the news in detail, I'm Tony Julian. Grenada's COVID-19 infection rate continues to increase steadily, with 2,808 active cases being recorded as of Wednesday. With the sharp increase in numbers, so too are the concerns from parents in relation to their children as to venturing out to the classrooms. But let's get more in this report.
MTV received reports on Thursday that several parents were contacted to collect their children as teachers called in sick. Our news desk was informed that one primary school in St. George's was informing parents just after 10 o'clock this morning that the pre-primary classes had to be suspended. The Ministry of Education, when announcing the reopening of school, indicated that the decision was made for 1 week in the first instance. The Ministry of Education, when announcing the reopening of school, indicated that the decision was made for 1 week in the first instance. Education Minister Emmeline Pierce said during the reopening week, an assessment would have been conducted and an update is to be provided at the end of the week, Friday, January 14th. MTV was reliably informed on Thursday afternoon that education officials were locked in an urgent meeting. Meanwhile, over the last week, the sister isle of Petit Martinique was able to keep their COVID-positive cases at zero. However, reports from the sister isle have indicated that since the reopening of school earlier this week, 4 positive cases were recorded. Speculation is rife that the Petit Martinique students traveling to and from Carriacou, which currently has 142 active cases, there might have been some level of exposure. Our news team will continue to monitor the latest developments and provide the necessary information as it becomes available. Kishon Thomas, MTV News.
The Center for Disease Control and Prevention is considering updating its mask guidance, recommending that people opt for the highly protective N95 or KN95 masks. In this Kishon Thomas report, we hear from a medical expert on the CDC's guidance.
The Center of Disease and Control Unit is making changes to its mask guidelines as the Omicron variant continues to spread at record levels. The move by the CDC is to ensure the public minimizes the risk of transmitting the virus.
We've seen that the latest variant, known as Omicron, is highly contagious, highly transmissible, and to ensure that the public minimize the risk of transmission, they've come out with new guidelines indicated that the best mask that we should wear is either an N95 mask or a KN95 that is not counterfeit, and or a surgical mask.
That was Dr. Philip Bonaparte, who says the difference in these masks are the seals that avoid leakage.
The N95 produces the least leakage, so 1 to 10%, up to 10% leakage when it's worn, properly. The surgical mask, you get up to 50% leakage. And I'm not saying it's across the board, but the reason why there is a big difference of more than, you could say, 40% in terms of the upper limit has to do with the seal, that you do not get as good a seal over the nose or nostril and the sides of the mouth with a surgical mask.
Dr. Bonaparte says while he understands the discomfort in wearing a mask for a long period, he urges that any mask is better than none.
A study was done some years ago that showed that if everyone in the public wear an N95 mask, within 4 weeks, COVID-19, any variant, will be extinct, because there will be no person to transmit it to. I know that there's an inconvenience with masks, but I want to encourage you that when you do it, you're not just protecting yourself.
Kishon Thomas, MTV News.
President of the Commercial and Industrial Workers Union, George Mason, is saying Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell's comments that government will not support non-vaxxers an irresponsible and insensitive statement. During the Prime Minister's media press conference on Wednesday, he commented that his administration will not provide support to those who refuse to be vaccinated and may lose their jobs as a result. We have more in a report from Nikita Holston.
No one who has refused to take the vaccination and have lost their job will get any package. So I cringe when I heard that. So I trust that there can be some explanation to sort of explain what he means when he said no one who refuses to take it.
And that was George Mason, President of the Commercial and Industrial Workers Union, responding to the comments made by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell on whether he will support the unvaccinated. During the Prime Minister's media press briefing on Wednesday, he said his administration will not support citizens who refuse to take the jab.
First of all, the scientific evidence for vaccination is strong in favor of vaccination. No one can tell me otherwise. As a person of science myself, I'm amazed at some people refusing to take something that can protect their own life. So I can't agree with you. So I cannot give you incentive for not vaccinating. I will not be dishonest. I'll be very dishonest to say I'm going to create a program to help you for refusing to do something to save your own life. I will not do that.
Mason says his comments were irresponsible and reckless, as there are many reasons why persons are unavailable to be vaccinated, particularly due to medical reasons.
No one who has refused and have lost their job will be eligible. And I think that is a very insensitive statement, especially in light of people have personal reasons. And the Prime Minister is on record as saying that he does not and he would not mandate vaccination. He said he thinks it is somebody's right.
He says it is the government's responsibility to take care of its people under any circumstances.
You're responsible. He has been elected and is responsible. And if he had couched his statement by saying, well, I know there are people who have underlying conditions that they are susceptible to A, B, and C, and they have been advised not to take it. Well, I may give consideration to them. But to just say, once you are unemployed because of your resistance to COVID vaccination, you will be not eligible. That is a very highly irresponsible, erratic, and irrational statement.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell says new entry into politics is commendable. However, one must be prepared to serve with positive intention. The Grenadian leader was commenting on a question posed during his first media engagement for 2022 on Wednesday. Dr. Mitchell was asked whether the newly elected leader of the National Democratic Congress, or NDC, Deacon Mitchell, had received a warm political welcome as a newcomer.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell confirmed at Wednesday's media session that Deacon Mitchell received a congratulatory welcome from him on his entry into politics, and he has welcomed the move by the opposition party on the decision to look for fresh blood within its camp. However, Dr. Mitchell said the issue is not about the individual's interest to enter the political arena, but the intentions for service.
The individual must stand on his own standing, whether it's 20 years, 40 years, 35 years. It's about his own standing. And if I'm a voter, I'm not voting for you because you say I'm coming into politics. I'm voting for you for what your intentions are for the entry into politics. I made the point earlier on. Some people get into politics, and I'm not saying the individual is that. So that is something that will be judged later. You can't judge him. I would not be excited if I'm an NDC person. I would say, yes, that's an opportunity. But I want to see your performance. I want to see your vision, and I want to see your actions in politics.
Supporters of the two main political parties are eagerly anticipating an election call. However, Prime Minister Dr. Mitchell said that decision would be based on a reason of national interest.
So the decision to call election will be based on what is necessary at a given time. And I have consistently said that when we call an election, of course we use the advantage of incumbency, but it will only be in the country's national interest.
In previous interviews, Prime Minister Dr. Mitchell, who is now 75, indicated that the pending general election will be his last. Party supporters have since been eager to know who would be his successor. However, according to Dr. Mitchell, any new leadership of the party does not have to be from within its camp, but the leadership will be determined by its members.
There's a perception that we must choose somebody from inside the party in government at this time. I don't hold that view. And I think members know that I have expressed those views consistently. But people are seeing individuals, people know individual services over the years, and they have that responsibility to make that choice. And the party will do that. One thing I could promise you, we won't paratroop anybody into the new National Party. A person would have to show their mettle. They would have to come in and show some consistency of work and evolve through a particular process.
Kishon Thomas, MTV News.
Supporters of both political parties are eager to take to the polls when Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell announces the election date. While the Prime Minister is in no rush to call a snap election, he does believe his new National Party can pull through with another victory. Let's now hear the option or the opinions of some citizens.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell believes that the new National Party will be re-elected in the upcoming general elections and told reporters that his new National Party could be victorious at the polls that are constitutionally due no later than June 2023. And while Prime Minister Mitchell is confident that his new National Party will win the upcoming elections, MTV News spoke to some individuals on their views on whether the new National Party administration will emerge victorious or not.
I mean, the way things is going, I mean, I think the people, I mean, they need a strong government, and I find that this government is not strong. You know, it's just a set of promising, and nothing is happening. It's just putting pressure on the people, you know. So I think, I mean, the people should, it's time, I mean, for NMP to go.
Yes, I think so. And I think so, I know so. There is nothing else, nothing better to help us out here. Hard it is, we have to work with the NMP, and that is that.
Yeah, they will. Well, it other than that, they are very smart technically, and what they are doing right now, technically, they're doing things actually to show people that they're doing, you know, what they need to do. So technically, yeah, they will.
They say the NNP administration may win the elections, however, not by all 15 seats.
I was saying, I'm looking not for a 15 sweep anymore. They could win, but not 15, as I said before. It might be something different. It might be a split, you know. But as I say, do not underestimate Mr. Keith Mitchell. Do not underestimate him. Anything could happen. But I'm looking more for a split, not a total 15-seat sweep.
This man says there is no competition for the new National Party. He also gave his thoughts on the National Democratic Congress political leader.
If they want to, as far as I see things going, and I see have any competition with NNP. When I say so. NP alone are seeing, and them alone are hearing. So I just feel that, you know, they could go back and forth. Well, I don't think NC really could fight anything as you like. Because you see, I'm moving around, eh? As a home, I'm moving around and I'm hearing things. And how I hear it and thing, and how I see things going is not, I hear nothing about any season, and people are hearing about.
Nikita Hostin, MTV News.
That's our first segment. We'll have more news when we return after the break.
The first segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with GUT Cooperative Credit Union. It's where you belong.
You have been waiting on it all year. Now, it's your chance to make this Christmas better than ever. Get the extra cash you need with a Make This Christmas Better loan from the GUT Credit Union. Get up to $50,000 to celebrate your Christmas and make your holiday dreams come true. Home improvements, new furniture, a vehicle, debt consolidation, or even a vacation. We can help you get there. Yes, you can. Make this Christmas better with the GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
When a loved one passed, how did you get your electricity bill to be so low?
For one, we size our transformers just for what we need, and we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LED. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in.
How do you know if it is working?
We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
Renelec, energizing our Grenada.
Is on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment as you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest. Visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
The second segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with the Communal Cooperative Credit Union. To grow with us, save with us.
Gifts of love with trend, bringing love for you this year. Communion showing that we care, with gifts of love with trend.
We're bringing you gifts of love with cheer at the Communal. This Christmas, we are your Santa. It's all about sharing the warmth of this season with those you love. Get in on this special loan, taking advantage of great interest rates with no principal payments until January 2022. Share the gift of love. Make it a merrier Christmas with the Communal. Exciting prizes for members throughout the promotion. For we are your Santa this Christmas. Offer ends January 31st, 2022. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Communion showing that we care, with gifts of love with trend.
Welcome back. Grenada may soon be following in its neighboring islands' footsteps to decriminalize marijuana. bringing some ease to the Rastafarian community and to those who use the herb for medicinal purposes. According to the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Mitchell, his views about this decision have changed over time with the provision of more information, as we now hear from Donella Hostin.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell says the decriminalization of marijuana will not be used to gain votes for elections. Instead, he insists that this is an issue of national importance that will be dealt with very soon.
Our position has been informed by some of this discussion and the discussion with the stakeholders, and that paper has been laid before, will be laid before Parliament for public discussion before it becomes law. And therefore, that is not a wait for the next election. We are not waiting. When you have an issue of importance to the country, economically and otherwise, we should not be thinking about votes.
He says this decision has to be one that will be beneficial to everyone.
What is best for the country has to be best for any political party. And therefore, we have to show the courage and the necessary guts to make decisions that are not necessarily popular with everybody, but what is necessarily the best in the best interest of the country.
As it stands now, Dr. Mitchell indicated that the use of marijuana for medical purposes is supported. However, on that note, he explained that alcohol abuse should be of concern as well.
We have seen the negative effects on some of our young people and other people in the society by the misuse of marijuana. We have seen the effect of this negative consequences by the misuse of alcohol. Some of the biggest problem we have had over the years in family structures and so on in the society has been people who have abused alcohol. Instead of using it for social interaction, they use it almost like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And therefore, they have devastating consequences on the health of individuals. So I treat it in the same way I would treat the question of the use of alcohol limitedly.
Members of the Rastafarian community who use marijuana for religious purposes say they await the decriminalization, as they have had too many fight-downs and setbacks thus far. Reporting for MTV News, I am Donella Hostin.
With permission from the Ministry of Health, the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority is at present removing and demolishing bins island-wide. MTV News spoke to the communications manager at the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, Myrna Julian, on this development, and she explains why this is being done.
With permission from the Ministry of Health, Grenada Solid Waste Management is currently removing bins island-wide, which they say creates public health issues for citizens.
No, once we have gotten the permission, then we leave it up to the contractors responsible for the various areas to do the demolition. And following the demolition, of course, we would be doing our monitoring to ensure that there is compliance. Wherever the bins are demolished, we would do our public education to target the residents in those areas to ensure there is good compliance. We also post notices that are provided by the Ministry of Health, and you would see these no dumping signs placed there so that it indicates that that point is no longer a collection point. It has been decommissioned, it's no longer a collection point.
That was the communication manager of the Grenada Solid Waste Management, Myrna Julian. According to her, many issues was observed in the communities where the bins were located, including the dumping of vehicle parts.
So the contractors responsible for the areas in which these bins are located are now in the process of demolishing. So ahead of the demolition of these units, we have been notifying the members of the public that these units are scheduled to be demolished and that we are looking for their compliance in terms of adhering to the procedures for the disposal of the regular waste as well as the disposal of the special waste, things like the appliances, bulky waste, etc.
She says all appliances and furniture disposed of in the bins also created a challenge for the collectors.
Like abuse by members of some members of the commercial sector in terms of the large quantities of commercial waste that are placed in these units and around these units. Some garage operators, they use those units for the disposal of vehicle parts and so on, old oil, etc. Construction companies, they have been disposing large quantities of construction and demolition waste. And the list can go on. The other issue has to do with traffic issues that, for example, they result in spills onto the roadside. There is another issue as it relates to environmental consequences and public health consequences. Now, sometimes it depends on what is placed in these bins. It can contribute to unpleasant odors.
Nikita Hostin, MTV News.
Farmers in Carriacou will be getting some assistance from the Climate Smart Agriculture and Rural Enterprise Program, SIEP, through a project funded by the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB. This project, according to the project engineer of the Rural Development Unit, Jason Williams, will help to increase the water supply, which will in turn bring about an increase in food security and availability. Donella Hostin has more.
Through collaborative efforts of the Climate Smart Agriculture and Rural Enterprise Program, SIEP, and the Ministry of Agriculture, farmers on the sister isle of Carriacou will be privy to better irrigation systems, which will enable them to have a more sustainable supply for their crops and livestock. Teams from SIEP, the Ministry of Agriculture, and the Ministry of Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs visited the sister isle earlier this week. MTV spoke to project engineer of the Rural Development Unit, Jason Williams, who explained what the project is about.
So the primary reason for a trip is to look or do a reconnaissance of the existing water sources and irrigation facilities currently either in use or being abandoned on Carriacou. This is important because farmers have been complaining over the years of the need for water for not just for planting, but also for the various rearing of livestock. Now, with the climate change, you know, this is a critical issue, especially for small islands like Carriacou, where they depend primarily on a catchment, rainwater catchment, and also subsurface water through wells.
He says approximately 15 areas were visited by the teams during the visit.
To look at the different areas where we, as SIEP and also Ministry of Agriculture, could possibly partner so that we can rehabilitate those existing facilities. Now, in some cases, we've been to at least 15 locations in Carriacou in the past 2 days. These include areas such as Limle, Mount Pleasant, Bel Air. We've also been to Mount Doux, Mount Royal, Dumfries, a couple of areas in Dumfries, Leicester, and areas around Harveyville.
Hopefully, before the start of the second quarter of 2022, some works will commence in these areas.
It's expected that before the start of the second quarter of 2022, that we can have some interventions started. Now, some of the interventions will involve the restoration of ponds for animals or cattle, also the restoration of groundwater wells, the restoration of catchment areas and systems that serves the community or communal systems. So besides just upgrading, we want to properly secure it to prevent contamination from different sources and also to include pumping gas. So it makes it easier and makes it more efficient for the persons who are using it to acquire the water from these sources.
Reporting for MTV News, I am Donella Hostin.
Attorney at law Claudette Joseph is set to return to court later in the year for assessment, and then she'll know the amount of money the court will award Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell. This after she lost the appeal against the Prime Minister in a judgment handed down by the Court of Appeal on Tuesday. The matter stemmed from claims made by Joseph that Dr. Mitchell was an investor in failed aquaculture shrimp farm project. Joseph pointed to a YouTube video as evidence of the claim. However, Dr. Mitchell has denied that he was an investor in the project, which was an approved citizenship by investment committee. The law firm of Nigel Stewart and Associates represents Dr. Mitchell in the matter, and Stewart spoke to our news desk earlier today on what transpired.
The Court of Appeal would have rendered its decision in a matter involving Claudia Joseph and Dr. Kit Mitchell. In that matter, I represent Dr. Mitchell, as you know, and the Court of Appeal would have dismissed the application filed by Claudia Joseph. As a result of that, the judgment obtained against Claudia Joseph in favor of Dr. Mitchell has been reaffirmed by the Court of Appeal.
Attorney Stewart speaks to the next step in this matter.
The next stage is for us to file an application for damages to be assessed. That application will be filed within the next week or so, and we are aiming to get a date sometime in February for the hearing of that application. That's for assessment of damages. At that hearing, the court is going to make an award as to an appropriate amount to be awarded to Dr. Mitchell.
Several efforts were made to contact Attorney Joseph on the recent developments, all of which went unanswered. Virtual celebrations are now becoming the in thing as COVID continues on its way. And according to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, with the rising numbers, this chosen medium is safer and has been agreed upon by many. The Tri-Island state will, on the 7th of February, be celebrating its 48th year of independence, for which most of the activities will be held virtually, and again due to the significant number of COVID cases. Also on the agenda was Kayak Mass, which, according to Prime Minister Mitchell, cannot be held in its usual form.
And to my mind, that it appears that most people understood and accepted this and participated in the way that they could. So this is just, independence is just a few months away from Thanksgiving, 3 months. And when we had Thanksgiving, remember, we didn't have Omicron, and the infection rates extremely high since. So if you did not have, if you had virtual service in October, close to November, it would be difficult to see in an increased infection of COVID-19 that you will now have physical presence. So I think you would limit any physical activity, independence, and Carnival, Carriacou Carnival, like Trinidad Carnival, it's just in February, I think. I can't remember the date. And therefore, I don't see how you can have the usual type of physical carnival celebrations in February.
A scaled-down version is expected to be held at the end of February. Dr. Mitchell also spoke to Grenada's main event, Spice Mass, saying that that depends highly on the number of cases at that time.
Discussions have already started with stakeholders. And if the trend continues and we have less and less hospitalization and infection, if that trend continues, if it peaks and start going down, then we could look at a limited form of activity. But I doubt, without being able to project what will happen in August, that you will see the carnival celebration as it normally has been by August this year. Because I already said at the beginning, it appears that COVID-19 will be with us for a while.
The Grenada Informer salutes our advertisers and readers as we begin the build-up to our 48th anniversary of independence. We also encourage you to continue observing the COVID-19 protocols to keep yourselves safe. In this week's version of our online newspaper, expect TAMCC professor faces indecent assault charges. Drug squad makes first 2022 strike. Carriacou prepares for virtual carnival. And also from the Sister Isles are complaining of a cultural slap in the face. Shakespeare King hoping that he can play this year. new Bishop's College School building by September. We'll have details to those and other stories in the latest edition of the Grenada Informer. All for now, that's it for the second segment of the MTV Evening News Thursday, with regional highlights coming up next. Stay with us.
The second segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with the Communal Cooperative Credit Union. To grow with us, save with us.
Gifts of love with trend, bringing love for you this year. Communion showing that we care, with gifts of love with trend.
We're bringing you gifts of love with cheer at the communal. This Christmas, we are your Santa. It's all about sharing the warmth of this season with those you love. Get in on this special loan, taking advantage of great interest rates with no principal payments until January 2022. Share the gift of love. Make it a merrier Christmas with the communal. Exciting prizes for members throughout the promotion. For we are your Santa this Christmas. Offer ends January 31st, 2022. Lending terms and conditions apply.
Communion showing that we care, with gifts of love with trend.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Is on. We all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCour Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment. As you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest, visit or call LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCour Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Tired of car troubles, high upkeep charges, and unprofessional work? Well, I know a place that can meet all your vehicle needs. 1D's Tire Shop, located on the Maurice Bishop Highway, provides tire change, car wash, vehicle balancing, brake and oil change, inspection services, and tire pressure gauge instant reading. They also stock brand new and English used tires of Asian brands ranging from as low as $150, as well as great deals to suit your budget. They deliver the total car care and quality service to customers. Contact them on 458-1614 or 406-3355. They're open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily, including weekends. Stop in with your car troubles and leave with your car superbly maintained. 1D's Tire Shop. Excellent service while beating any prices.
third segment of MTV News is brought to you in association with Arizo Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
January 1947 saw the dawn of a new day, the birth of the Grenada Civil Service Credit Union, later renamed the Grenada Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited, and more recently, Arizo. Arizo is extremely proud to be celebrating this significant milestone. But this would not have been possible without you. And this is why we are inviting you to celebrate with us as we celebrate 75 years of transforming lives. Stay tuned to our social media platforms and our local media houses to learn more of the activities and events that we have in store for you. As we celebrate this journey, we thank all our stalwarts for their valued contributions in bringing us to where we are today. We look forward to serving you for many more years. Let's celebrate 75 years of transforming lives.
And time now for news from across the region.
With the regional news, I am Kishon Thomas. In Guyana, a mother is asking the government to assist her 29-year-old daughter, Kafina Kumar, to return home. The mother claimed that her daughter and her two children, ages 6 and 4, are trapped in Syria. The grieving mother, Bibi Fazila Kumar, related that she has been suffering from depression since she heard what her daughter has been going through in Syria. The mother said that her daughter has shown the images of her living condition and she is saddened to see how inhumane the camps are. When asked why she allowed her young daughter to go to Syria, the mother claimed that Kumar has a passion for helping people and as such was offered to join an organization called NOG Alliance, a global networking organization. Having lost her father, the mother claimed that her daughter, who is a nurse, believed that she could help save lives in the war-torn country. Days before government's new safe zone measures takes effect, a group of people staged an anti-vaccination march in South Trinidad. We get details in this TTT news report.
No to mandatory vaccines was the chant of a group of protesters in San Fernando on Wednesday. The group walked from Harris Promenade and along High Street, sharing their views on the matter, saying it is important for others to know how they feel. From mid-January, government workers will have to be fully vaccinated to be allowed to enter their workplaces. However, the members of this organization say they are against it.
No to mandatory vaccination. Now, I am not anti-vax, I am pro-choice. We here are pro-choice because there are some people here that are fully vaccinated, but nobody should be bullied to take this vaccine. We say no to that, no to that.
As the group marched through the southern city, Ms. Hamilton explained there are many like her who hold a similar view.
The second you tell somebody that if you do not take a vaccine, you can't have a job, listen to me, that is the beginning of problems. That is telling people, listen to me, I'm holding you at a ransom at gunpoint, and the gunpoint is money.
Another group member adds that she had an adverse reaction when she received the vaccine.
I received Johnson & Johnson on the 21st of December, and by the 22nd of December, I've seen stress. I've had internal bleeding. Last week, I could not hear in my right ear. I'm still getting problems in my right ear. My jaw couldn't open, so I didn't eat for the week.
She shared that since then, she has been admitted to the ear, nose, and throat clinic, along with the urology clinic at the San Fernando General Hospital, where she receives treatment. Terry Ann Brown-Campbell, TTT News.
Still in Trinidad and Tobago, the Chemistry, Food and Drugs Division of the Ministry of Health has approved the sale of COVID-19 rapid antigen test kits at pharmacies. The news come a week after Health Minister Terence Yalsing invited importers to apply to the division for approval to bring the COVID-19 home testing kits in. Yalsing explained that while the antigen tests offered the advantage of affordability and convenience, the gold standard for COVID-19 testing remains PCR testing. The minister reiterated that the drawback of the antigen test is that it's prone to false negatives, so it must still be followed up with a PCR test. The administration of President Joe Biden has announced it will provide an additional 10 million coronavirus tests a month to schools across the country in a bid to avert closures amid a spike in cases fueled by the Omicron variant. More in this Al Jazeera report.
Chicago's on-again, off-again schools are once again back in session. Across the U.S., many public schools began the new year in the classroom, with students and staff alike braving the Omicron outbreak. But here, schools delivered a lesson in whiplash.
We just never know from day to day, week to week, how things are going to be, and it doesn't allow our children to feel secure or safe in what's going on.
Chicago's public schools opened, then closed for a week as union teachers battled Mayor Lori Lightfoot over COVID safety measures, then opened again on Wednesday. For Dave and Andrea Rolfing, 2 years of COVID has taken its toll.
My 8-year-old, because she's missed out so much, she has anxieties about going to school. And this past week in particular, when there was a school closure, we didn't know what was happening day to day. There were a lot of emotional breakdowns.
And that's the latest news across the region. I am Kishon Thomas.
You're watching the MTV Evening News. We'll be back after the break.
The third segment of MTV News was brought to you in association with Arizo Credit Union. Your financial freedom, your future.
January 1947 saw the dawn of a new day, the birth of the Grenada Civil Service Credit Union, later renamed the Grenada Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited, and more recently, Arizo. Arizo is extremely proud to be celebrating this significant milestone. But this would not have been possible without you. And this is why we are inviting you to celebrate with us as we celebrate 75 years of transforming lives. Stay tuned to our social media platforms and our local media houses to learn more of the activities and events that we have in store for you. As we celebrate this journey, we thank all our stalwarts for their valued contributions in bringing us to where we are today. We look forward to serving you for many more years. Let's celebrate 75 years of transforming lives.
It's the MTV Evening News with sporting highlights up next.
How did you get your electricity bill to be so low?
For one, we size our transformers just for what we need, and we unplug transformers, chargers, and other devices when they're not in use. We also replaced our light bulbs with LEDs. I even replaced the seal on my refrigerator door to keep the cold air in.
How do you know if it is working?
We pay attention to the usage history table. Over time, our average usage has decreased.
Renelec, energizing our Grenada.
Flavored tips for people living with hypertension this holiday season. Enjoy frozen ham in moderation instead of salt ham. Buy local or frozen vegetables instead of canned ones. Limit tin or canned foods like corned beef. But if you decide to have a little, throw hot water over it before eating to remove some of the salt or fat. You don't have to be perfect at every meal. Just be cautious of your choices. A message from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs, be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
Holy Natural Spring Water is a water for every occasion. On the field of sports, at your workplace, just open the bottle and savor the pure, refreshing taste. Holy Natural Spring Water is produced in Mama Can St. Andrews and is available in all sizes nationwide. To order, telephone 444-7654 or 533-7654. Holy Natural Spring Water, Grenada's purest bottled water.
The West Indies under-19 lose warm-up matches. That and more coming up in sport. And sporting fans, this is where we bring you this evening's highlights.
With the latest development in sports, I am Kishon Thomas. West Indies under-19 produced another feeble batting performance, which meant they lost their second and final warm-up match ahead of the under-19 World Cup opening match tomorrow against Australia at the Guyana National Stadium in Providence. Very similar to the performance against India on Monday, the young West Indies side were bowled out yet again, well within their allotted 50 overs. Yesterday, South Africa, who they drew 2-2 in a recent Youth One-Day International Series held in St. Vincent, bundled them out for 189 in 43.2 overs at Providence. Cricket West Indies congratulated West Indies legend Sir Clive Lord on receiving his knighthood. The former captain, one of the most successful in the game's history, received the honour for his services to the game of cricket. The investiture was performed Wednesday by Duke of Cambridge at Windsor Castle. CWI President Ricky Skerritt said, on behalf of CWI and everyone involved in West Indies cricket, I want to offer heartiest congratulations to Sir Clive on this tremendous honour. Sir Clive holds a special place in cricket's history as the first man to lift the Cricket World Cup, CWC, which brought tremendous pride and joy to West Indians all over the world. Sir Clive led West Indies to victory over Australia at Lord's in the final of the inaugural CWC tournament in 1975. 4 years later, he again led West Indies to the world title when they beat England again at the historic venue. Tennis world number one Novak Djokovic was included in the Australian Open official draw on Thursday, although uncertainty remained about whether the government will cancel the top seed's visa for a second time. Immigration Minister Alex Hawke is weighing exercising his discretionary powers to revoke Djokovic's visa over concerns about the superstar's medical exemption from Australia's COVID-19 vaccination requirements. Djokovic, who was practicing on Rod Laver Arena earlier on Thursday, drew unseeded fellow Serb Miomir Kekmanovic for his opening round match, expected to be played on Monday or Tuesday. And that was the latest development in sports. I am Kishon Thomas.
And we'll have the public forecast information and a recap of the headlines right after this next break.
MTV Weather is brought to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Each of us has a role in Grenada's successful recovery. Our future is promising. We are strong. Together, we are Grenada.
Good evening, viewers, with Thursday night's weather forecast and meteorologist Wayne Williams. We did see one or two very brief showers over the central, windward, and the Leeward Islands, but again, those were very few and far between and very brief. The Atlantic continues to show some signs of low-level moisture. Could bring nighttime brief showers over the next few days. Some approaching moisture in the lower level could bring, as I said, some isolated showers during the night time, especially when that moisture interacts with the mountainous areas. But apart from that, conditions would be generally fair. Forecast for Thursday night is for generally fair and cool conditions. About a 30 to 40% chance of 1 or 2 brief inland showers. The winds would be mostly easterly between 5 and 15 miles per hour. The minimum temperature just around 23, a bit cooler in some areas. The moon rose this afternoon at 2:37. It's going to set in the morning at 3:43. Air conditions would prevail on Friday with the continuing windy conditions. East-northeasterly to easterly is the direction the wind will blow from between 12 and 24 miles per hour. About a 20 to 30% chance of a brief pre-dawn showers. Those would not continue or should not continue in any major way into the daytime. Seas will be moderate with 5 to 7 foot waves. Sunrise is at 6:31. The sun is going to set once again at 6. The max will climb to around 34, so it's going to be another hot day. It will feel like 38. Mostly fair and generally fair conditions in Port of Spain and Bridgetown respectively, with some windy conditions there, of course. Mostly sunny in Kingston, sunshine galore in Miami, New York. Again, very cool, a high of 5, a low of -10 is expected. It's going to be mostly cloudy and partly cloudy for London. No major change expected. Generally fair conditions for the weekend with a 30% chance of showers mostly in the night time, and just in that pre-dawn period, mostly sunny conditions from Monday into the week. Slight increase in cloudiness towards the latter part of the week is possible. That's it for Thursday night, folks. Have yourself a great night. Remember, you can join me on Friday.
MTV Weather was brought to you in association with Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
And to end the news, a recap now of the headlines. One school in St. George's has had to suspend classes as teachers have called in sick. CDC to adopt new mask guidelines to guard against the severe spread of the Omicron variant. Grenada may soon be following in its neighboring islands' footsteps to decriminalize marijuana. And in sport, the West Indies under-19 lose warm-up matches. We've had details to those and other stories. Just before we leave, a reminder for you to clean frequently touched objects and surfaces daily. And if someone is sick or has tested positive for COVID-19, disinfect frequently touched surfaces. All for now, on behalf of the news and production departments, I'm Tony Julian, thanking you for watching, and we all wish you a good night.
I'm a winner, you are winner, we are winners, winners.
It's the big one. Grenada. Imagine winning $25,000 and up to 6 times by scratching just one little ticket. Get your triple cash scratch tickets for a chance to live your best life. Win easy with Scratch. For just $3, match any of your numbers to any of the winning numbers and win the prize shown for that number. Reveal a money bag symbol and win the prize instantly. Triple cash scratch. In stores now. Must be 18 or older to play.
Cause I'm a winner. From the moment that I get up, I'm feeling right.
Good evening, viewers and listeners. Welcome to the National Lotteries Authority's Daily Pick 3 Evening Draw. For today, Thursday, January 13th, 2022. I am Nisha Charles. With me this evening is Ms. Priscilla Barry from PKF Accountants and Business Advisors, whose purpose is to ensure that this show is conducted in an accountable manner. The game balls with industry standards and in no way stamped with. By the time your tickets are ready, it's Daily Pick 3. It pays to play. Good luck. First over this evening is check your tickets in the meantime. First number is 1, second number is 2, third and final number is also 2. Let's recap those numbers. Numbers on the screen. First number is 1, the second 2, third and final is 2. So that's 1, 2, and 2. Congratulations, all winners. Stay tuned, get your daily cash will drop next. We'll see you soon.
I'm a winner, you are winner, we are winners, winners.
It's the big one. Grenada, imagine winning $25,000 and up to 6 times by scratching just one later ticket. Get your triple cash scratch tickets for a chance to live your best life. Win easy with Scratch. For just $3, match any of your numbers to any of the winning numbers and win the prize shown for that number. Reveal a money back symbol and win the prize instantly. Triple cash scratch in stores now. Must be 18 or older to play.
Cause I'm a winner. From the moment that I get up, I'm feeling right.
Welcome back, everyone, to another Daily Cash for Evening Draw. For today, Thursday, January 13th, 2022. I am Anisha Charles. With me again is Ms. Priscilla Barry from PKF Accountants and Business Advisors, whose purpose is to ensure that this show is conducted in an accountable manner. The game balls with industry standards and in no way tampered with. By the time you have tickets at hand, it's Daily Cash for more plays, bigger prizes. Let's know what this evening's winning numbers will be. Good luck. First number this evening is check your tickets in the meantime. First number is 5, second number is 8, third number up. Third number is also 8, fourth and final number is 0. Let's recap those numbers. Numbers on the screen, check your tickets. First number up is 5, the second 8, third 8, fourth and final is 0. So that's 5, 8, 8, and 0. Congratulations, all winners. Stay tuned, got your play drop next. We'll see you soon.
Win more with the NLA's Daily Cash 4 every day with more plays and bigger prizes to be won. It's a 4-digit game with all the bet types you already know and much, much more. From 0000 to 9999. Choose your 4 numbers and place your bet from 11 different bet types. Choose from inline, 4 different mixes, first 3, last 3, and 4 different backup options too. Best of all, it starts at just $1, except for backups, which starts at $2. Win as much as $5,000 with a $1 inline bet and as much as $6,200 in a $2 backup bet. Imagine $50,000 for a winning $10 inline bet. There's definitely more to win with the Daily Cash 4. More plays, bigger prizes. Twice per day, Mondays to Saturdays. Must be 18 and over to participate. NLA, making your dreams come true while supporting sports, culture, and nation building.
Welcome back, everyone, to another Playway Evening Draw for today, Thursday, January 13th, 2022. I am Nisha Charles. With me once again is Ms. Priscilla Barry from PKF Accountants and Business Advisors, whose purpose is to ensure that this show is conducted in an accountable manner. And the game balls with industry standards and no way tampered with. Let's play Playway, value your dreams, and we only. Good luck. This evening's winning player number is check into the sitting time. This evening's winning player number is 31. Let's recap the number 3131. 31 represents the dream symbol cockroach. Congratulations, all the winners of this evening's Playway draw. When you play all the games of the National Lotteries Authority supports sports, culture, and nation building. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful evening.
I'm a winner, you are winner, we are winners, winners, winners.
It's the big one. Grenada, imagine winning $25,000 and up to 6 times by scratching just one later ticket. Get your triple cash scratch tickets for a chance to live your best life. Win easy with Scratch. For just $3, match any of your numbers to any of the winning numbers and win the prize shown for that number. Reveal a money back symbol and win the prize instantly. Triple cash scratch in stores now. Must be 18 or older to play.
Cause I'm a winner. From the moment that I get up, I'm feeling right.
When a loved one passes on, we all need the comfort, support, and guidance of a trusted friend. You can rely on LaCroix Brothers Funeral Home. We provide a personalized professional service that exceeds all expectations. Our dedicated staff responds to your every need with the greatest detail, ensuring affordability with a variety of options. Our upgraded state-of-the-art facilities, spacious air-conditioned chapel with live internet streaming, a modern, environmentally safe crematorium, the only of its kind on island, private viewing spaces, large on-site repast center, a modern transportation fleet. Join our burial society today and make personalized arrangements for that final moment as you prepare to enter your loved one into eternal rest. Visit our LaCroix Brothers Funeral Home and select a package that brings added comfort to the entire family. LaCroix Brothers Funeral Home and Burial Society, continuing a tradition of excellence.
Cyril Oliver Martin Duncan of Old Westerhall St. David passed away on Tuesday 28th December 2021 at the age of 94. He was the husband of Annie Joyce Duncan. Children Cecil, Stephanie, Glenda, Yolande, Carol and Hensley. Grandchildren Devon, Devonay, Danny, Matthew, Andrew, Nathan, Samantha, Heather, Alex, Malcolm, Joshua, Sarah and Gary. Sons and daughters-in-law, Terence Wright, Lawrence George, Joseph Moorman, Kenrick Patris, David Belashthi, Vernet Duncan and Joan Duncan. Many nieces and nephews including Adrian Alexander, William Shares, Greta Shares Wright, Christopher Shares, Richard Duncan, Brian Hurst, Philip Gittins, Ivan Duncan, Betty, Anthony and Judy Backer. Caregivers Angelus Regis and Stacey Ann Harris. Other relatives and friends including Jasmine Redhead, Eura St. Bernard, Annie Bain and family, the Honorable Yolande Bain Horsford and family, Joan Griffith and family, Julian and Helen Emanuel and family, Mr. and Mrs. Jim Sen and family, Nola Ned and family, Dunbar de la Moth and family, Evelyn and Joyce Snack, the Duncan, Shares, Patris, Gittins, Salem and Connaught families, Father Roland Mark and family, the parishioners of St. Paul's and St. David's Anglican churches, and the community of Old Westerhall. The funeral of the late Cyril Oliver Martin Duncan of Old Westerhall St. David will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to LaCroix Brothers Funeral Homes. Kevin Georgie Matheson, also known as Kunta, of 6 Roads Carriacou, passed away on Monday 3rd January 2022 at the age of 69. He was the husband of Edel Matheson in the USA, father of Shay, Nia, Kiva, and Kevina Matheson, Chemo Pair and Francine Clement, grandfather of Nakenya, Elijah, Kayla, Alexandra, Lil Kayla, Xavier Emmanuel, Kimora and Miracle, great-grandfather of Keziah, brother of Donald, Augustine, Christine, Phyllis, Frankie, and Enid, adopted brother of Adela Joseph, uncle of many. Other relatives and friends, including the Matheson families, numerous cousins and friends, neighbours of Six Roads, Brunswick, and surrounding areas too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Kevin Georgie Matheson, also known as Kunta, of Six Roads Carriacou, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes.
Sir Carlisle Green of Guelph, who resided in Palmies, St. John, died on Tuesday, the 21st of December 2021, at the age of 89. He survived by his wife, Lady Norma Green, née Decoto, father of Corinne Dabrio, Carlisle Jr., and daughter-in-law, Lavita, Susan Marshall, and son-in-law, Mervyn, Patricia Carter, and son-in-law, Michael, Roseanne Redhead, and son-in-law, Joseph, grandfather of 18, great-grandfather of 10, brother of Florence Gasparez and Neville Green, brother-in-law of Cecil Decoto, many nieces and nephews in Grenada, Trinidad, Canada, the US, and the UK, including Ingrid Green. Caregivers Joy Ned, Donette Samuel, Janice Antoine, and Royal Mark. Many cousins in Grenada and abroad, including Anna Glean, George Glean, Alfred Glean, and Jessel Charles. Nee Glean, McBarnett, Alexis, Benjamin, Elias, Walker, Francis, Charles, Decoto, and Clara families. Friends and neighbors throughout Grenada and in Barbados and the diaspora. An evening prayer of the church, followed by tributes for the late Sir Carlisle Green of Guelph, who resided in Palmy St. John, will be offered at 6 p.m. on Monday the 17th of January at St. Peter's Roman Catholic Church, Guelph, St. John, and can be viewed on media platforms of Good News Catholic Communications. The funeral service will be held privately, and the funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
John Kennedy Belfon of Mount William St. Patrick, who resided in Brooklyn, New York, USA, passed away on Wednesday, 15th December 2021 in New York at the age of 57. He is survived by his two daughters, Kenesha Canning in Grenada and Rory Robinson in New York, brother of Kenneth Belfon, Hermelin Belfon Charles, Lindley Belfon Samuelson, all in the USA, and Gemma Belfon Jeffrey, formerly Gemma Dialli in Grenada, grandfather of Michaela and Londell Canning, uncle of Curtis Belfon in the USA, Marius Dialli in Canada, Casita Charles Bowie, Claudia Charles Sardine, Rosita Joseph, Charmaine Samuelson, all in the USA, Marita Dialli Watson, and Melissa Dialli in Canada, great-uncle of many, brother-in-law of Lorna Belfon, Damien Charles, and Ronald Jeffrey, father-in-law of Lonnie Wise. Other relatives and close friends, including the Belfon, Williams, and Robinson families, Raphael Frederick, Tommy Wildman, Hilda Cord, Dwight, Frankie, Gloria, Pressa, the staff of Mary Star of the Sea Catholic Charities in New York, and friends and neighbors of Mount William, Duquesne, and surrounding areas. Many other relatives and friends too numerous to mention. The funeral service of the late John Kennedy Belfon of Mount William St. Patrick, who resided in Brooklyn, New York, USA, will take place on Thursday, 13th January, and interment on Friday, 14th January, in Brooklyn, New York, USA. Arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Aloysius Cyrus Lazarus, also known as Big Si of Paradise, who resided at Telescope St. Andrew, passed away on Monday, 3rd January 2022, at the age of 67. Left to cherish his memory are his dearly beloved mother, Marjorie Lazarus, two daughters, Khadijah Jones and Kim George of Telescope St. Andrew, stepchildren Neilfa, Artley, and Glenroy Charles, siblings Leslie Ann, Andrew, Dominic, Doreen, Maximus, Mary, Betty Ann, Martin, Elizabeth, Martha and Ken Lazarus, and Russell Mitchell. Aunts and uncles Raymond Lazarus and Imelda Paul in the US. Many nieces and nephews including Ronell Old, Aidan and Andre in the USA, Donnell, Michelle, Rachel, Vernell, Danielle, Roquel, Nathan and Rena Lazarus in Canada, Sheldon, Joan, Nicole and Nicholas Lazarus, Delano and Deandra James, Neil and Nathan Titus, Ethan George, April Lazarus Coy, Kadisha and Lisa in Barbados, sisters-in-law Monica Golden in the USA, Bernadette Lazarus and Gillian Fleury Lazarus. Many cousins including Michael Paul, Wayne Lazarus and family, the Alexander and Joseph families of Tivoli. Many others too numerous to mention. Other relatives and friends including Vanita Charles, Glenron Blair, Ton and Michaela Charles, Gregory Johnson, Raymond Julian, Edwin Boca, Peter and Edmund Blair of Paradise, Len Obola of Telescope, Gloria Palmer and family, the Phillip family of Beaulieu, the Williams, Paul and Clark families of Boca St. George, members of the Men's League, and the priest and parishioners of St. Andrew the Apostle RC Church. The funeral service and interment of the late Aloysius Cyrus Lazarus, also known as Big Si of Paradise, who resided at Telescope St. Andrew, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. George Emmanuel Nayak, also known as Georgie of Fort Judy St. George, a well-known taxi driver, passed away on Thursday, 23rd December 2021, at the age of 72. He was the husband of Rita Nayak, father of Cheryl Lynn and Tiffany, grandfather of Caleb and Elizabeth, brother of June, Joan, and Sally Ann, uncle of Rachel and Stephen. Many relatives and friends including the Nayak, Thomas, Ramdani, Rathan and Budlal families, the Grenada Taxi Association, the Grenada Marina Taxi Association, and friends and neighbors of Fort Judy. The funeral of the late George Emmanuel Nayak, also known as Georgie, of Fort Judy St. George, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Veronica Joseph, also known as Chiney, of 6 Roads Carriacou, passed away on Saturday, 8th January 2022, at the age of 71. She was the mother of Brian, Natasha, Don, Janelle and Lynthia Joseph, and Kelroy McIntosh in the USA, and Gillian Camp in Ireland. Grandmother of 18, great-grandmother of 2, sister of Lenas, Bernadette, Angela, Anthony Blackman, Martina, Rudolph, Casnell, Cassie, Godwin Honeyboy and Joy Joseph, Alana Fields and Mary Pear. Niece of Linda David, Dulcie Primus and Janella Charles, aunt of many. Close friend of Adela Joseph, Roland and John Bedeau, and Enid Matheson and family. Other relatives and friends including the Joseph families of 6 Roads and Leicester Carriacou, Jude and Alice, the James family of Leicester, the Charles family of Tophill and Lamode, the Bartholomew and George families in Grenada, the Liverpool and Nelson families, Nadine Lawrence and family, Keston Quashi and the geriatric workers, and neighbours of 6 Roads, Brunswick and surrounding areas too numerous to mention. The funeral of the late Veronica Joseph, also known as Chiney, of 6 Roads Carriacou, will be held privately. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Lyris Elvira Purcell, also known as Ma Lear, of River Road, St. George, passed away on Sunday, January 9th, 2022, at the age of 99. The funeral arrangements for the late Lyris Elvira Purcell, also known as Ma Lear, of River Road, St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Magdalene Constance Buckmeyer, also known as Granny, of Upper Capitol, Birch Grove, St. Andrew, passed away on Sunday, 9th January 2022, at the age of 83. The funeral arrangements for the late Magdalene Constance Buckmeyer, also known as Granny, of Upper Capitol, Birch Grove, St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes. Dorothy Brown, née Lacroix of Melville Street, St. George's, who resided at Marquis St. Andrew, passed away on Thursday, December 30th, 2021 in the USA, at the age of 90. The funeral arrangements for the late Dorothy Brown, née Lacroix, of Melville Street, St. George's, who resided at Marquis St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes.
Roll Christopher Maureen, also known as Bowie, and Barbell of La Femme St. David, who resided at Mardi Gras St. George, died on Friday the 7th of January at the age of 56. We'll have funeral arrangements for the late Roll Christopher Maureen of La Femme St. David, who resided in Mardi Gras St. George, in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Joan Elizabeth Ventu, also known as Auntie Joan of Birch Grove St. Andrew, proprietor of St. Andrew's Pharmacy and Justice of the Peace, died on Saturday the 9th of January at the age of 77. We'll have funeral arrangements for the late Joan Elizabeth Ventu of Birch Grove St. Andrew in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Home. Colleen Sherilyn Peters, also known as Chiney of Paddock, who resided in Montu, St. George, died on Thursday, the 30th of December 2021, at the age of 45. We'll have funeral arrangements for the late Colleen Cheryl Peters, also known as Chiney of Paddock, in a subsequent broadcast.
Jermaine and Patricia Francis Noel, also known as Sister G, of Vendham St. George, who resided at Caruth St. Andrew, passed away on Friday, 7th January 2022, at the age of 91. The funeral arrangements for the late Jermaine and Patricia Francis Noel, also known as Sister G, of Vendham St. George, who resided at Caruth St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes. Laventon David Edwards, also known as Flevy and Elbow Grease, of New Hampshire St. George, died on November 29, 2021 in Brooklyn, New York, USA, at the age of 74. The funeral arrangements for the late Laventon David Edwards, also known as Flevy and Elbow Grease, of New Hampshire St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Joseph Findlay Tavernier, also known as Jojo, Moyi and One Love, of Edward Street, Grove, St. John, passed away on Friday, December 31st, 2021, at the age of 70. The funeral arrangements for the late Joseph Findlay Tavernier, also known as Jojo, Moyi and One Love, of Edward Street, Grove, St. John, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes. Teresa Velda Fleury, also known as Mama, and Velda Alexis, of Prospect Hall, Carriacou, passed away on Tuesday, 7th December 2021, at the age of 80. The funeral arrangements for the late Teresa Velda Fleury, also known as Mama, and Velda Alexis of Prospect Hall, Carriacou, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacroix Brothers Funeral Homes.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thanks for watching.
I just want to express my sympathy with all those of you who have lost your loved ones. We know it is not an easy piece to lose somebody that you love dearly. But death is not the end, because the Bible tells us that there is life after death. My mind goes back to a man in the Bible named David, a man who at least he had a son by Uriah's wife, and the child got sick and died. In fact, the Bible says in verse 18 of 1 Samuel chapter 12, and it came to pass on the 7th day that the child died. The child died. But that was not the end. David began a series of mourning, laid on the ground, upon the earth, and he called on God to save his son so that he can have sweet fellowship. He wanted to have time with his son. He wanted to have his son grow up to be the person that he wanted him to be. He probably wanted to play the first cricket match, or he probably wanted to go kick the first football in the field. Or he wanted probably him to climb the first tree. But yet for all, the Bible says the child died. David in himself satisfied that the sovereign God who gives and takes is able to do great things. Then David arose, the Bible says, from the earth and washed and anointed himself and changed his apparel and came into the house of the Lord to worship. David had the hope that he would see his beloved son again. And so, ladies and gentlemen out there that are in the mourning period, pick yourself up and recognize that if your loved one died in Christ, you are going to see them again. And the right thing to do is to come to that saving knowledge, recognizing who God is, and God is going to bring you through. And so I thank you, and I trust as we pray for you, you would cheer yourself and recognize that the sovereign God takes control of everything. God bless you.